Well, it's Tuesday now. November 19th, kind of storm day, although
we're getting there.
We're getting there. All right, Lisa, Lydia, LB show today. A big weather day to talk about. Before we jump into that, though, because I know you have a lot of questions, we just want to remind you we're live on Facebook every weekday morning right around this time. It stays on your Facebook feed, though, throughout the day. So if you want to listen again, because Lydia's going to really break down a lot of stuff, you can do it whenever it works best for you. It stays on your feed all throughout the day. Plus, we make this into a podcast every day, so you can find that at inform.com. Just look for the Inform Minute. Inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute. Okay, so a lot of rain. It started raining last night, and it's been pretty heavy.
It's been a heavy, steady kind of rain, over an inch already here in Fargo. I saw a report of 1.5 inches in North Moorhead, 1.17 I just got from Horace, so over an inch of moisture. A lot of good rain. Of course, we need the rain. The ground isn't frozen yet, so hopefully it's soaking in nicely before we do switch over to snow. Already seeing that switch over in western North Dakota. It's happening. That's where the air is colder, temperatures down to the 30s. We're sitting close to 40 here in the valley, so it's a chilly rain, but it's warm enough to be rain. And then as that colder air rushes in from the northwest, we'll see the transition. By about lunchtime, Devils Lake, Langdon, even toward Grand Forks. Grand Forks are kind of right on the edge of that rain-snow transition at lunch. And then that spreads to the southeast. Here in Fargo, we'll see it happen, I'd say by 5 p.m. Of course, getting dark then at that point, so we'll see a switch over to some snow. Scattered snow showers continue overnight tonight. Wind picks up, temperatures drop, roads become slick late tonight into tomorrow. I would kind of plan on a slippery morning commute tomorrow. Give yourself maybe an extra 15 minutes. Nothing that's probably going to shut us down by any means, but you're going to need a little extra time on the roads tomorrow morning. You don't want to be in a rush when it's slippery outside. Off and on light snow continues throughout your Wednesday. Strong winds gusting 40 to 45 here. Out west, there's a wind advisory where gusts up near 55 miles an hour will be possible. So some really strong winds. Up north, by the way, where we're expecting the most snowfall, winter storm warning, winter weather advisories in effect. Devils Lake, Cooperstown, Mackville, Langdon, just to name off a couple of spots included in those headlines. Grand Forks and Fargo are not. But as the colder air moves in, I wouldn't be surprised, just as we get kind of a better idea of the timing, I wouldn't be surprised if we joined the winter weather advisory later today. We'll see if the weather service, by the way, is the ones who issues those, not us. So I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with a winter weather advisory here. I'm thinking about 1 to 3 inches as of right now. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, so that can still change, of course, but I'm thinking about 1 to 3 inches Fargo, Grand Forks, and then 5 to 7 plus inches within that winter storm warning area. So some heavier snow up at the international border. All of it winds down slowly throughout Wednesday. We're cold, cloudy, maybe a few flurries, but overall better by the time we get to your Thursday. So that just to kind of give you a general time frame of that. Then highs are in the 20s on Friday and Saturday. So we've got some real chilly air coming, which also means not a lot of melting weather. Not that this snow necessarily is going to be the one that sticks until May, but I don't see it melting away immediately. I do have temperatures only getting into the 20s, so some snow to stay, giving us that white glow.
Well, it's November 19th. Thanksgiving is just
around the corner.
Away, so, it's time for snow. I want to point out, though, you've mentioned this earlier, I think in a commercial break, where we've been getting so much rain. If this was snow,
it would be a lot of snow. So the general rule of thumb is 10 to 1. Now, we get dry snows here in the Northern Plains, so it's not a perfect rule. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but generally speaking, every 10 inches of snow is 1 inch of water. So we've had already over an inch of water here. So if you reverse that, that would be over 10 inches of snow that we potentially could have had had this been colder, had this been snow. That is all potential. There's no way to actually know how much snow it would have been because, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of formula, but that gives you a general idea, and it's interesting.
It is.
Just that this could have been, had it been colder, this could have been over 10 inches of snow so far, not even counting everything that is still to come. So that could have been 15 inches of snow.
Right, we're just looking at the radar, just all covered in green, and it's just been raining for so long.
It's very steady, heavy rain in some spots, and hours. It's been raining since like 7 p.m. last night here in Fargo. So we've got some good moisture now. It needs to get in the ground, soak in before we switch over to snow. And then, of course, before a hard freeze comes and that ground really solidifies. Good to get some moisture before we get a good solid freeze.
Okay. And, of course, we have a huge storm tracker weather team. You're tracking it, but the weather app.
Whole team is here all day today, tomorrow, of course. We're pretty much staffed nearly 24/7. There's like a 2-hour midnight to 2 a.m. gap, but otherwise we have people here covering everything. So the app is a great place to get updates as forecasts change, as new alerts come out, because again, I wouldn't be surprised for us to be in an advisory later today. That'll be on your Storm Tracker app. You can check in on videos, you can check in on the radar to see where that rain snow transition line is and kind of track it toward your location specifically. It's a great tool to just have as we head into winter. And we uploaded the road condition map. So the DOT map is on there also. Yes.
That's time of year, I guess.
I know. It's the first of the season that we went ahead and we put it out there on the app. So it's there, it's ready for you as road conditions inevitably turn a little bit worse.
And tomorrow morning, wake up with first news.
Yes, we will get you the latest. Ryan will be here live out on the roads to kind of give you a view of what's happening. I'd give yourself extra time. I'd get any final preparations done today. Not that it's the end of the world, but being ready for the snow takes some stress away. So
For sure.
okay,
All right, good
that's
stuff.
all. Thanks.
Thank you, Lydia. All right, well, we broke this morning on First News. Moorhead police officers are asking for your help right now, finding what led to gunshots being fired. The call came in around 9:40 last night in an area just east of the Minnesota State and Community and Technical College in Moorhead. Police did find casings on the road. They were not able to find victims or any property damage. They're asking people, however, who live in the area to check their, ring cams, security cameras, to see if they see anything that could be related to this. Witnesses told police that a dark SUV was possibly involved. So if you know anything, if you're seeing anything on your security cameras, please call the dispatch center, ask for the Moorhead supervisor. That number is 701-451-7660. So a developing story. We'll continue tracking. Stick with the news leader for updates. This morning, we're also learning a lot of new details about what led up to a deadly shooting at a West Fargo church parking lot. The forum now has those 911 calls, and they're really shedding a lot of new light. The shooting happened, of course, the morning of August 17th. That was a Saturday, just outside the Prairie Heights Church, which is off 32nd Avenue in West Fargo. We now know the first 911 call came in at 7:44 that morning. A man walking his dog told dispatchers that a younger man was kicking an older man. About 2 minutes later, he told dispatchers that a car pulled up and a man with a gun came out. At that point, he actually thought it was a police officer. A minute and a half after that, the man, Don Barron Jr., shot and killed 25-year-old Austin Strom. Barron then called 911 himself and told dispatchers he was involved in the shooting. So we're kind of seeing the breakdown, the timeline, a lot of really new, interesting details as the forum is taking a closer look at those 911 calls. If you'd like to check out more on this story, it's posted right now. Just go to inforum.com and click on that story. The new $43 million parking ramp at Hector International Airport in Fargo is about a third of the way done. This is a big update for you. The on-site project manager says the warm fall weather helped them stay on track. The 4-story structure will have about 900 parking spots. It will include a $4 million skyway that will eventually connect an expanded and renovated terminal. The entire project, including the terminal, is scheduled to be completed in early 2027. A coffee shop in Grand Forks that a lot of people loved is closing its doors. Archives Coffee House on the UND campus has just announced its last day will be December 13th. That shop is located on University Avenue, just across the street from the Chester Fritz Library. The current owner had the shop for the past 8.5 years. We've also learned that a popular restaurant in Grand Forks is expanding to West Fargo. The owners of Harry's Steakhouse are planning to remodel and open a 170-seat Harry's Steakhouse in the former JoJo's Italian restaurant. That's on 9th Street or Veterans in West Fargo. The West Fargo Harry's is expected to open in the late part of summer of 2025. Another story we broke for you this morning on First News. We're continuing to track it today as well as GMA. Russian state media is now reporting Ukraine has launched those U.S.-made long-range missiles that we've been reporting on. President Joe Biden approved the use of those missiles inside Russia just 2 days ago. State media says air defense shot down 5 of those missiles, with fragments falling near a military facility. And of course, as we're reporting that, we also know that Russia is now lowering the bar for using nuclear weapons. Russian leaders now say they will consider any aggression from a non-nuclear state with the help of a country with nuclear weapons to be a joint attack on Russia. This new move broadens the Russian definition of aggression against them. We'll continue tracking that developing story for you as well. On to sports tonight, some live volleyball action for you. NDSU and UND, big rivalry game. It's going to be happening at the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse in Fargo starting at 7 o'clock tonight. You can watch that matchup live on WDAY Extra. And talking sports, Hot Mike with Don Izzo coming up here 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and also Inform.com. Jamestown beat Valley City State this weekend, so was that the final edition of the paint bucket game? Don's going to ask that question. Plus, how is South Dakota prepping for its biggest regular season game since moving to Division I with the Bison coming to town? Be sure to join Dom on Hot Mic today from 9 to 11. And join us for our next newscast. It's coming up at 11 this morning, and we have you covered this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Of course, we'll be tracking the big weather story, the transition from rain to snow, tracking that and keeping you prepared out on the roads. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Be sure to wake up with First News to get the very latest on the road conditions and the weather before you head out the door. Have a great day, everyone.